the Part-Time Players podcast, episode 29. This is a casual gaming podcast where four pals discuss the week's video game news. My name is Reece Lagden. I am joined by Brad S.
Hello.
Ash S.
Hello.
Ash A. Seeley.
Hello.
And Brad M. Brad Moore.
Hi.
How are we doing today, guys? Yeah. But more.
Good.
How are we all doing today, guys?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
Good.
thank you. Yeah.
We made it to 2021. It's kind of our first podcast in 2021. Kind of excited. I kind of missed it last week. I know it's kind of like a thing that me and Brad S have been doing for quite a while, every Sunday doing this, and then not doing it last week was a bit like, woke up Sunday morning, just a little bit like sad, just like moping around my apartment, just like, oh, like it's 11, where's Brad? Like I just sat here with like no one here, just talking to myself.
FaceTimed him, just had a little chat.
Yeah, I could have done. Yeah, I didn't think of that, but yeah.
So yeah, no, we had a meeting last week, didn't we? That was on. Was that Sunday or was that Saturday?
But that was
Sunday.
Oh, it was Sunday. Okay.
Oh, so you're chatting shit. It's basically just chatting shit.
Oh, well, there you go. I thought it was Saturday, but yeah, cool. How's your week's been? Enjoyed Christmas? We all had a good New Year.
Yeah, you know, it's a little bit different. Obviously, the restrictions and that, but sadly, I have to start work again tomorrow, which I'm not prepared for. I've had like over 3 weeks off, and I don't want to go to work. So,
okay, well, you got a new job. You should be excited.
Yeah, I know, but I've become very lazy. So, you know, it's just, yeah. But no, I am excited as well. Yeah, no, I'm excited. And this,
well, everybody can see this Joe Rogan podcast room you've been discussing for like 6 months.
There's still work to be done.
Oh,
so, yes,
work in progress.
Work in progress, yeah.
You got a nice little shelf behind you?
I have got my shelf of geekness. I need to get another one because I've got more stuff to put out, and I need to get some soundproof tiles. So
cool.
Yeah, it will get completed soon.
Nice.
Yeah,
right.
and the listeners will obviously be happy to hear. I have my monitor set up. It's done.
I know you finally got 4K. You got internet. Wow, you're like
I got the internet. Oh, I love it. I'm loving life. Yeah. Living in the future.
I know you are. Yeah, you've gone from like the 80s all the way to like 2021.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, future. Brad M, did you have a nice break? Christmas, New Year?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's for gamers, it's been a bit of a joy, isn't it? We haven't had to go and see family and stuff. We get to sit down on our asses and play games. So yeah, it's been good. It's been it's been all right. Been playing, grinding away at Destiny. Started Ghost of Tsushima as well. Finally, a bit late off the mark there, but been having fun with that. Back to work tomorrow. Sad times, but yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. It's been relaxing. Now I need to lose some weight and do some work.
Wow, January. New Year. Ash, same question?
It's been really good. Yeah, got some nice things, bits and bobs. Got tell you what I did get, what I weren't expecting. Star Wars Squadrons.
Okay.
Good game. Yeah,
is it
really
a good game?
Okay. Yeah, you have to balance the power input, so you can put it to like guns or your thrusters
shields and stuff. Yeah.
That adds a really good element to it. It's not just like trying to fly around and point in the right direction. You've really got to be a bit more tactical with it. Yeah, I've been enjoying that. Really enjoying that.
Cool. Have you got a VR headset as well? Or?
No, unfortunately not. No.
Okay.
My mate's got it and he's really enjoying it. He says it's amazing the way you get to look around the cockpit and that. They put a lot of work into it.
That's the only thing that kind of excites me about the game is doing it in VR. Like it's just a bit of a fantasy, but yeah.
Yeah, he said the scaling is amazing. Like when you fly next to a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. The perspective of it and everything is quite cool. Well, we're done in introductions, I suppose. So kind of the main topic this week is just going to be our top 3 games of 2020, which is just our personal games of 2020. It's not like an official thing. And then I guess we'll just have a part-time players game of the year, because I believe all 4 of us have chosen one game in particular, which will be obviously the winner. I don't know if anybody wants to kick off with their first game at all. Brad M, do you want to kick off?
Yeah, Brad. Yeah, someone else. Yeah, Brad M. Brad Moore, kick off.
More? You want more? Okay, right. So my game of the year, I'm going to put down as Destiny 2 Beyond Light, September expansion that come out in November. It
Sure.
was delayed by. Well, it was delayed. Yeah, it did come out late November, didn't it? It's played by a while.
Early November, the 10th.
Yeah, it's the 10th, wasn't it? Yeah, Destiny players don't usually pick Destiny as their game of the year because we love to hate this game. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun actually, and I think during lockdown there's been a lot to do on there, which is great. Beyond Light, it launched a new destination, Europa. It was fantastic as well. They had some free marketing at that time. I think the day before Beyond Light come out, NASA had tweeted out that they'd found life like water on Europa. So Bungie just jumped all over that, and it was hilarious. But yeah, Destiny is my guilty pleasure. I've been grinding away. I think Beyond Light is more of the same, which is good and bad. Destiny players always want Destiny to sort of innovate and, what they're going to do next, what's the next big thing. And it always tends to be more of the same, but more of the same is also good at the same time. More loot, more destinations, more power to grind. And yeah, I think overall it's been a lot of fun. It's been a really good expansion. The highlight of the expansion has to be the raid. The raid is the pinnacle activity in Destiny as always, and I think they've really nailed it with this particular raid, the Deepstone Crypt, where we go into the bunkers of Europa and discover where the Exos, which is like a robot race of Destiny, where they're designed and built. And yeah, it's just incredibly fun. Reece, you've had a good go at the raid. You've got a good few clears under your belt now.
Yeah.
What do you think of the raid?
I love it. I think it's fantastic. Maybe because I guess it's the only raid I've done like loads of times. Like the other raids were either I wasn't as committed to Destiny, so I wasn't like at that power level to be like competitive and be like part of the team. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. I thought it was a little bit too easy at first, but adding the new challenges and going for the little triumphs that we'll be doing now and ticking it off, and looks like we're going to get the seal for it. Yeah, no, I find it really, and the guns are fantastic. I think the loot as well, I think that's really important. Whatever like content is added to like any looter game, not just Destiny, I feel like the loot that you're chasing's got to be good, because that's what makes it like worthwhile. Like the armor is like really cool, the guns are really cool. So yeah, when you got really cool loot and then it's actually fun to do, it's a match made in heaven. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's funny that one of the sort of criticisms by some of the streamers were that the raid was too easy, which was an interesting one. And I've got some stats actually, like the Last Wish raid that launched at the start of Forsaken. In the first 24 hours, that had 4 completions. 4 fire teams of 6 completed the raid, whereas the Deepstone Crypt 29,000 teams completed it in the first 24 hours, which is crazy.
But that's a difference.
But a lot of people are saying that that's a great thing. That's a good thing. The world's first raid is this big event. It's a massive event on Twitch. It's the one day of the year on Twitch where Destiny gets more views than the likes of Fortnite and Minecraft and games like that. But I think it's great. We jumped in. We had a go at world's first. Did the first encounter out of 6,
which is impressive.
It is to clear 1 encounter out of 6 is good going. But yeah, no, I think it's good overall. I think the more people that can have access to get in there and have a crack and it not be just so demoralizing and difficult. I praise that. So yeah, I think overall it's been fantastic. Really enjoyed it. So that's my game of the year.
Cool. You guys, I know you guys don't really play Destiny. You got anything like, does it interest you at all? Like hearing Brad M so passionately speak about Destiny and why it's so good? Do you guys want to jump in?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have to give it a go. Like I said, I did play when it first came out, Destiny 2. I played it and then I completed the storyline for that. But I know since there's been countless updates and add-ons and everything like that. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't the shooting aspect of it really felt, I don't know, it's hard to explain, different. It actually felt like you was actually making an impact on the other players when you were shooting them. So yeah, it was quite, I enjoyed that aspect of it. But yeah, I definitely think I'll give it another go.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I think it goes back to a conversation that me and Brad S had a couple of weeks ago when we kind of said what Halo was. Halo was the pinnacle of shooters. and so was Call of Duty. When you think of a shooter, you used to think of Halo and Call of Duty. But it wasn't Halo, it was Bungie. Bungie are the pinnacle of shooters, and obviously they've done it with Destiny. It's just, it feels so good. And you don't realize until you go play another game that's a shooter, that's not Call of Duty, probably, and you can tell the difference. And you go back to Destiny, you're like, oh, wow, this feels so good. Yeah. And that is why I feel like it's just stuck around for so long. It's just because they're the masters of shooters, like gameplay. It's absolutely phenomenal.
At its core, it's just incredibly satisfying.
Exactly.
They just nail that basic gameplay, and all the stuff they build around it to keep you playing is, it has its criticisms, but it does keep you going at the same time. Like this season has been fantastic, but Destiny's like a roller coaster. It has its ups and downs, it has its peaks and troughs without a doubt. Yeah. But I should also give a shout out to the PS5 port as well. What an incredible job they did with that. It felt like an entirely new game. It was the best thing I was playing on PS5 visually. Out of a good few games. I think they had an easy ride because they'd already got one of Activision Studios to do the PC port. So I think they were already quite prepared for it. I think it was Vicarious Visions that they'd got to port Destiny onto PC. So there was already a version running at 60 frames, 120 in Crucible. With the 4K, now that's on PS5. It's just that it just feels and plays amazing. So that was really exciting. That was the first time I felt, yes, this is the power of PS5.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's really impressive. I can't wait for them to add DualSense support, or I hope they do. They're not confirmed yet. Maybe a game that we will talk about in a bit. I started playing it again yesterday, but I'll say that because I know someone else is going to talk about it, and I'll mention it then. But yeah, I really hope they do add DualSense support, just because, especially with the bow and the guns, and it will just add that next level of immersion. Because I think that's a good comparison to Destiny is probably the Division. It's the same type of game. It's gunplay as well, but I feel like a lot of the guns feel the same. Like you shoot them and it feels no different. It's like the same impact pretty much, where you go to Destiny, whatever gun you're using, it feels different. Like each archetype of gun, it's just, and I think that's its bread and butter.
The sound and design is
exactly,
really intricate. Yeah,
they do something really interesting. Like when I play that, some of the enemies are bullet sponges, but they never actually feel like bullet sponges. They always feel like they're getting hit properly. Whereas in the Division, you just unload clips after clips after clips, and then eventually they go down, and then you move on.
Yeah,
but it's always satisfying, even with the smallest of enemies. When you kill them, for me anyway, when you kill them, you actually feel you've not achieved something, but you've done something. You've not just run through them.
Yeah, and it makes a little bit more sense because you're fighting like aliens or robots, and it makes sense that they're a bit more spongy, some of them. But when you're shooting a person in the head, bang, 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 with a shotgun, and he's just like, his bars go...
Flinches like that.
Yeah, like that. It's like, it's a bit like, oh, this is a bit silly now. Like, come on. Like,
The more you talk about Destiny each week, the more I do feel like I should play. I played a little bit with you back years ago, Reece. And I did play like Destiny 1 a little bit, but I do like the idea of like the community and the camaraderie and like these big events. It does that does sound appealing, but then it's the countless hours that you have to put into like you say, the grind to get anywhere, and that's kind of like time commitments that I don't know, puts me off a little bit. But yeah, it does. I do every time we finish the podcast. I'm like, I might download Destiny again, but then I just don't.
It is a commitment to get to that point, but once you get to that point, you just got to invest a lot of time at the beginning. I feel, and once you're there and you can do things with other people, once you're kind of around, I don't know, maybe Brad would say like not necessarily pinnacle cap, but like level cap, like hard cap will be cool. I feel like you can just play with people. You don't have to get to that pinnacle grind, which is the real grindy part. Which is like the real hard stuff, like the really hard, like the Master Nightfalls, the Grandmaster Nightfalls, which are like really hard stuff, which we've been doing recently because you get really good rewards. But to do like a raid or whatever, like we played with someone, we did it like LFG, what we call like where we just go on the app and you just get random people in. And we had a guy that was like 1250 something, which is just after hard cap. Like we're in like 1270s. And he's like 20 power levels below us, but he can still play with us fine. You just need to be at that kind of hard cap. Really.
The Online introduced a pretty good entry point to the game as well. It's become a bit of a clusterfuck over the years because it keeps on getting built on. For someone new to come to Destiny, it's always been a challenge for them. But there was a lot of sunsetting happened this year, so they took about 4 planets out of the game. So yeah, Destiny Vanilla Year 1 it's like a different game. Like if you've got that game on disc, it's gone. You put in the disc, there's a patch, everything that's on that disc is gone, and there's new planets in there now, new weapons, new gear, and everything. But they've made a good entry point. There's like a specific vendor now who, rather than like being plonked into this world, is like, well, fucking hell, everyone's so powerful, and like, where do I go? What do I do? There's like a purpose-built tutorial to sort of take you through, and this vendor sort of guides you, which they haven't had, but they did take away the main vanilla campaign, which was a good starting point, and they've replaced it with a tutorial, which I think is less confusing, but it's just not as much content, I guess.
Yeah, because I did start playing the campaign, and then I didn't finish it, and then Reece said it's gone now, so that's I never get back, but I might jump back in at some point.
All right, I'll get that down in writing.
Yep. Both
I've
of you
emailed you a contract, if you could sign up, please.
Yeah, no, you both should just give it a go. Just give it a try if you like it and jump in and you want to play. We've actually got like a team of like just loads of people to play with now. So yeah, I think that's a big thing as well. When you're playing by yourself and then when you've got like a group of people to play with, the end game is so much more enjoyable. Like I probably wouldn't be playing it now if I never joined like Brad's like clan kind of thing, because playing by yourself and trying to get random people to play with, it's not the same. And having the same people that you're kind of playing with. So yeah, no, it's all good. Cool. Sweet. Ash, you want to say your first one?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Resident Evil 3. Always been a fan of the Resident Evil franchise. Never used to be into horror games, like I said, but Resident Evil 1 was one of them. What really the story kind of dragged you into it and got you wanting to play it. Never played it when it originally came out. Resident Evil 3. I only ever played number 1 when it first came out. Well, when it was re-released anyway. But Resident Evil 3, really enjoyed it. Graphics were amazing. Just same good story like usual. Always a little bit over the top, but that's just what Resident Evil does.
Sure.
That's what I'm gonna go for. One of my choices.
Did
play? Go on.
Oh god, so I was gonna say, did you play the Resident Evil 2 remake?
Yeah, so the Resident Evil 2 remake probably would have definitely been above this. Resident Evil 2 was amazing. Really enjoyed that. I borrowed that off of someone. And it was one of those games I thought, I haven't got anything else to play, I'll give it a go. And I loved it. And the fact that you could play through the story twice, because of 2 different characters, it's completely different stories, same end goal, more or less. But Resident Evil, the remakes they've done have been amazing. They're just phenomenal. And they're a really good way to get into the Resident Evil franchise. I like the way they've gone to the first person, which I know some people had a real problem with. From Biohazard, which went into first person, but the newest one, which is coming out, which is Village, is going to be the same first person. So it's evidently got enough of a following that they're continuing with it, which I think adds another element into it. And again, with the new one, people really enjoyed Biohazard when you was in the house. It was a bit more creepy. You had this guy who was invincible, who kept coming after you, and it was more of a case of hiding and trying to creep through. And I think they've really taken that on board, because the new one is going to be a lot more of that, of not necessarily getting hold of a gun and going at someone straight away. It's going to be a bit more tactile. Yeah. And in my opinion, when you're first person and as soon as you go around the corner you're seeing it, it's a lot more intense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. First person is definitely more scary, especially when you're doing like a stealth horror game and you're like sneaking around and you got the thing. Brad, Brad M, you played it in VR, didn't you?
Yes, I did, and I'm still traumatized to this day.
It
like new levels of fear. Like I love my horror games as well. I've played a lot, and that I feel like every other horror game doesn't do anything for me anymore. I think that like playing Resident Evil, Biohazard in VR has set a new standard. Oh, Jesus. Sweating thinking about it now. But the new one isn't going to be in VR, is it? Which is a real
No, apparently
real
not.
shame.
I don't know. There's rumours that they're gonna eventually integrate it with it. Because I don't know if Biohazard originally come out as VR. It may well have done.
I think it
But
did,
I think I think the new one's going to be so. They, of course, with the graphics, you know, enhancements and everything else. I think VR's lagging behind now. It didn't get enough of a following. Not people enough. Not many people bought it. And
see, I thought Resident Evil was gonna set the path for more AAA VR games because they nailed it. It was brilliant.
It was brilliant. Yeah,
it was the same game. It looked great, and I thought, right, finally, a company has successfully made a full release. They haven't had to trim it back. They've made a full release in VR. This is going to pave the way, but never happened. No, shame.
Yeah, no, it really is because I only played a bit of it in VR, but it definitely enhanced the experience. Definitely made you a bit more shitty pants moments.
Cool.
Well, you can play The Village when it comes out, and you can review that.
Yeah, happily. Can't wait for that to come out.
I was
I'm really forward to that.
I did notice on the PlayStation Store there's a sale on at the moment, and Resident Evil 2 is on there discounted. So I'm actually gonna buy it.
Honestly, buy it. It's brilliant. There's a man. Unfortunately, there is a man in there, which is you can't kill him, and he just follows you around the house.
But what's his name? I can't remember his name. Yeah, Mr. Sank in it, Mr.
Yeah, it's just amazing that just the element of it is. I love that. It's just a really really good game.
And I can remember playing number 2 on we had there was a demo I think on Silent Hill, and it like back on PlayStation 1 graphics, and it scared the shit out of me. So Christ knows what it's going to be like playing it now.
Yeah. But honestly, I'd suggest to anyone to play number 2. I enjoyed it so much. I said it was one of my. It's up there with one of my all-time favorite games.
Sweet.
I can't do horror games. I just can't do it.
You'll be all right. Honestly.
Yeah, shit scared.
Just put it on. Scared. Put it on super easy. And
I thought Bugsnax was scary. That's why I never played it. Do you know what I mean? Like... So yeah, I've got no chance. Exactly. Yeah, I was terrified. So no, absolutely not for me. Cool. Brad S, you were going to play it, weren't you? Is that what you said?
What? Sorry.
Resident Evil. Have you played it or you haven't played it?
No, I'm going to buy it.
Oh, you're going
to? It's on the store. Yeah, it's on sale at the moment, so I'm going to buy it. Yeah. And,
okay, cool.
Give it a go. My game that I'll choose first is, so I've done it, I've done the games I've picked. I've played a few games this year, but some didn't come out in 2020. Some of them I haven't played long enough, and some, so the ones I've done, the way I've picked is the games I've platinumed. So up top is Astro's Playroom. Is not in any sort of order. That's one of them. So Astro's Playroom. I don't know. I just thought it was a brilliant game. It was like the first game I played on a PS5 when I got it. And over Spider-Man and Miles Morales, I thought I would stick with Astro's Playroom, and it just demonstrates. It's a fun platformer, but it also demonstrates everything like the PlayStation, that's new about the PlayStation 5. So, like you're saying, the adaptive triggers and the DualSense controller, and it's just a fun platforming, and the nostalgia it brings, because each world is a generation of the PlayStation console. It ticks all the boxes, and seeing the little bots act out all the different PlayStation games. So you find one doing like a Metal Gear bit, and then there's a Ghost of Tsushima, and there's a Jack and Daxter one. Yeah, just finding all those little bits. Yeah, it was just really fun. Really cool. Yeah, really good game.
No, I totally agree. It's the perfect demo for the controller as well. No other game so far has demonstrated how good the controller is until you play that game. It's fantastic, and I feel like the magic of that game is it's almost got that Nintendo feel. Do you know what I mean? Like not many other platforms can get that feel where you feel like you're playing like a 3D Mario. Yeah. I don't know, but that has that feel, doesn't it? It's kind of like got the nostalgia, it's got the music, it's got all the, like when you do the PlayStation 1 and then you see the TV and it does the PlayStation 1 logo, it's like, the old school,
the old school TV.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Like you hear, and that's what I mean, you hear the start music, and Same for the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. You hear like the startup music when you unlock them. It's brilliant, yeah. And each world you get a different. It shows off the controller by giving you a different, different role. So one level there's like you're in a monkey suit. One you're in like a ball. So then you just have to use like the, like the gyro in the controller to steer it. One you're in like a little spaceship rocket thing. What's the other one? Oh, the worst one is like a frog thing where you have to jump. But yeah,
that's tough.
It's just fun.
It is fun,
and done the speed runs and got every trophy you could get on it. I've done it. I've just rinsed it, and I hope they release like a full game because it was fun, and for it to come built in, it's come preloaded on PlayStation 5, so
it's
straight
really good,
out of the box you can just play it. It's brilliant.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. No, it's a great game. It got received so well by critics as well. And so did like the VR game, like on PS4.
Yeah.
Also got received really well. So the studio that does it, like Studio Japan, done a really good job with it. I'm sure they will do another one, like a full release, because it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? People would buy it. So it's a great game. It's a great way to show off the controller.
My girlfriend, she doesn't play games very often, but she loved it. She just kept wanting to play in it. So even for someone who doesn't play games all the time, it was easy enough to pick up and play and enjoy it.
Yep.
So it's just brilliant. Yeah, brilliant game.
Nice. Brad M, I know you've obviously, unfortunately, Ash hasn't got a PS5, so you can't comment on it.
I still haven't got one. I've heard great things about it, but if we could start that hashtag up to get me a PlayStation 5, that'd be great. I am behind.
Yeah, I need to. Sounds like I need to finish this game. I sort of jumped in, had a little play around whilst I had like FIFA pre-downloading and Destiny, and I was just, it's kind of like a filler for me. It sounds like it is not a filler. So looking forward to getting back into it. Yeah. I love the demo on the controller. That's great.
Yeah. I never finished it either because, like a bit similar to Brad M, so many games to play at launch. It was kind of like that came out, Spider-Man. I wanted a Platinum Spider-Man, which I did, and then Assassin's Creed come out, then Destiny upgrade come out, and then it was just like, and then Cyberpunk. Do you know what I mean? It was like game after game after game. So I kind of played it here and there, but never actually finished it. But I feel like January is like the good time to go to your backlog, and just like start playing games that you drop down and just want to like catch up on things and stuff. Especially now, I'm kind of don't really have much more to do on Destiny. I'm kind of like quite up to date with it, and I can now just put that down a bit and just jump in every now and then game of Destiny and get to my backlog from 2020. So I would jump into it because I need to get that plat, and we kind of
I was going to say the only reason you want to carry on playing it is because you want the platinum trophy. So
yes, I kind of have this full these.
I remember gaming before platinum, before trophies, when we just used to enjoy the game. Now it's all
we don't talk about that no more.
Yeah. It really doesn't matter. That's one of the reasons why I don't really play my Switch as much, because I kind of think if I could get achievements on the Switch, I honestly would play it more. I know it's odd, but it's just something about achievement hunting. I think that's why I like Destiny so much. It's getting those achievements and the loot, and I don't know, it's just that weird. It just ticks something in me. I just need to.
You're one trophy off platinum in Destiny, aren't you?
Don't.
It's not good enough to get it.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
See, I used to feel the same about that. Like I want to get trophies, and when I used to be on the Xbox achievements, but I played The Witcher on the Switch for like over 100 hours, and I didn't care about the trophies or platinum or chips, because I was like, I'm just enjoying a game. And like Breath of the Wild, I didn't care because I was just having so much fun playing the game. So but if you are playing a game you can enjoy, and getting the platinum trophy is attainable quite easily, go for it.
Yeah, I'd only ever do a platinum if I'm enjoying a game. I wouldn't do it other than My Name is Mayo, unless I was enjoying
My
it.
Name is Mayo 2 you downloaded as well, so
I'm holding off on that because I'm still recovering from the first one. It's just the button pressing. It's very tedious. But did you ever finish Breath of the Wild? You didn't finish it, did you?
I haven't finished it, no, because it's a game I was enjoying playing, so obviously I didn't finish it.
But if there was a platinum trophy, would you have finished it? See, I feel like that would have been tight. I never finished it either, and I know loads of people didn't finish it. Yeah. But I feel like that would have been like a thing to like get people to keep going if there was an actual platinum to chase at the end. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah.
I don't know, maybe. But then there was trophies in Spider-Man, and I was really enjoying that, and I didn't finish it. So it's
fair enough.
I'm an enigma. I don't know what's the matter with me. You know?
Yeah, no,
I've missed my window to play Spider-Man Miles Morales now, so I've got to wait till like November to play that. So it's
that's a given. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good job I'm about to talk about it now. So
no spoilers.
No spoilers. Fine. Well, my game is Spider-Man Miles. It's obviously just continuing on. I take it you guys played it. Brad M hasn't. As you played it, Ash? No. Okay, so
no.
I'm the only one. Did you play 2018? Has anybody played 2018 Spider-Man? No. No one's played it. Oh wow. Brad S says it's basically just a continuation from 2018 Spider-Man, but they've somehow improved it. It's kind of like the perfect superhero game, perfect Spider-Man game. It's we've kind of at an age where, did you guys ever play the PS2 like Spider-Man 2 and like the movie tie-in with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man? And I loved them. I used to just swing around Manhattan, and this is kind of like this, but like how I probably pictured the game looked back then. It actually looks now. It looks incredible. It's like just a 3D playground of just swinging around, and it's so fun. It's kind of Insomniac have kind of done what Rocksteady did with Batman Arkham, and they've integrated a really good combat style with storytelling. And Spider-Man, a bit like Batman, really, it's got such a good rogue gallery of villains. They've got so much to do. So, and with the Miles game, they've somehow, because I've never been a really big fan of Miles. Obviously, I'm a bit more of a Peter fan, but with his like Venom powers, which are a bit like electricity kind of powers where you can kind of shock people, where he like with a punch and whatever, and he can also go invisible. So they've introduced a few more abilities, which is kind of interesting how they can go back to like Spider-Man 2, like not having those powers, although probably they'll both be in it, but it's a lot shorter game. I really like that it was a shorter game. I don't know if that's going to be the direction for Sony first party games, where they're only like 15 to 20 hours long, which I guess a lot of people wouldn't like. They do like the longer, like 30 to 40 hours, but I felt like it was quite a good, like small story, very much about Miles. And obviously if you know about Miles, and I don't want to spoil it, but like who his uncle is and his like friend was like other characters and stuff. And it was a very like, I don't know, your friendly neighborhood kind of, to quote Spider-Man's story. The story's good. The combat was great. I did platinum it. It looks fantastic as well. I don't know how Insomniac have achieved 4K 60 with ray tracing. I think that's quite a good feat that we've got that already. So by far, it's the best game I've played on PS5. It's absolutely stunning. And yeah, it's just the perfect Spider-Man game. I don't know what you think of it, Brad. Have you started it? I know you played 2018.
I haven't started it, but I've been playing the remastered Spider-Man, but I'm enjoying that. And yeah, the upgrade for I'm impressed with the upgrade from that one to the PS5 version. So yeah, I can only imagine what Miles Morales is looking like. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it in, as I say, November 2021. Be getting cracking that bad boy out. But yeah, the remastered one is fantastic. So
cool.
I'm hoping I'll finish this one. I'll finish this playthrough. So
Yeah, you got to go for the plat.
Don't know. I don't know. No. It does seem a bit grindy. So I don't know.
There's a little bit of a grind. It's kind of like the tactics of what I should have done with Ghost, what you guys did with Ghost, where you started doing all the little question marks early. Yeah. So then when you beat the main story, you ain't got to go and do all them afterwards. And I knew I wanted to platinum Spider-Man. So as soon as you leave his apartment from the get-go, I started just collecting things. I didn't even do the first mission. And I started ticking off. So as soon as I beat the story, it was just like, okay, I've only got to do this, this, and this. And then I had it. I had it really quick. But, yep.
Yeah. I might try and get it just because obviously you've got it, and we need to keep you at bay.
Yep. I might buy the remastered one just so I can get that plat as well. So I'm free. But anyway, Ash, you want to say your next one?
Yeah, so my next one is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I've only just got this, to be honest. I've only put like 30 hours into it, but I think I've only had it for 4 days.
Okay, that's a lot of hours.
Yeah, because I didn't get it for Christmas. It's not a jib there, but I didn't get it for Christmas, so I went and bought it directly afterwards. Yeah, I've got like season pass and that because I know like we sink a lot of hours into that. So when the DLC comes out, it's already there. But
Sure.
I'm really enjoying that. I've kind of fell out of love with Assassin's Creed games. Really enjoyed the first, like the original lot, when you played as Ezio. Really enjoyed them, all of them. And then when Black Flag come out, that was amazing. I still think that was my favourite Assassin's Creed game. Just playing as a pirate,
I agree. Yeah,
getting sailed around was just amazing. And then when Origins come out, I played a bit of it. I couldn't really get into it. And then Odyssey, I played again. I did sink a decent amount of hours into that, but what I found with that, it was more me just playing it, just trying to get through the islands, and it was so vast. And then you look over at another island, it's like 30, 40 levels above me. I just can't be bothered with it. But what I find they've done with Valhalla, it doesn't seem as big. There's really high levels, but it's more obtainable. Once you're going through the story, you're just leveling up anyway. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. And like I say, I put 40 hours into it. I'm still nowhere near done. I think I'm only at level 100, and I think the highest region is 350. So I've still got a lot of time left in that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I like the way they've tied in, because I know a little bit of Norse mythology, and they've tied it in to the story like they do with all of them. But it's always quite interesting when you can kind of work out what's going to happen.
Sure.
Like, there was a bit with Loki. I won't ruin it all, but there's a bit with Loki and there's a bit of a wolf, and you're like, oh, I know something about that, and then it actually ties out in the game that comes to fruition. So yeah, no, I'm really enjoying that. Gameplay mechanics on it's really good. It's kind of one of those rare games that the starter weapons you start with, if you really like them, you can upgrade them, and they're nearly as good as the legendary weapons. So if you're used to using them, you're going to be just as good as the legendary weapons, because you know the mechanics of them. But
what weapon are you using of interest?
I'm just using, I've mixed it up a little bit. I was using for the longest time an axe and a shield.
Okay.
I've gone all for like a heavy build, so everything's bare armor and that.
Sure.
But I've started using an axe and a hammer now. But,
okay.
Yeah,
cool.
they're really good because you can mix it up in so many different ways. So every single weapon you can use with another weapon. Eventually you get a perk where you can use 2 heavy weapons. So if you really want to, you can use 2 great axes or 2 great swords. And it really opens it up. But yeah, I'm loving that. I'm really enjoying it.
It's cool. Yeah, complete opposite to me. I'm going for like a fast. I've got 2 small axes. And I just go in and just like absolutely destroy people with it. But
yeah,
I'm probably really enjoying it as well. I think go back to what you're saying about the difference between this and Odyssey is the amount of bloat. And you're right, they've taken all that away. And I think that was one of the biggest criticisms of Odyssey was like you got to a certain point and then to get to the next mission you had to like grind like 15 levels or 20 levels, and it was like, oh my god, I don't really want to do this. This is just I think I just dropped it. I never played it. Like I did like drop it, and I did go back I think like at some point this year or last year now, sorry, and just like did beat the game eventually, but it was that little thing was just like, oh wow, that was a little bit much.
And there was so much grinding in it.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely
ridiculous. They did take some mechanics out of it as well, like there was a mechanic on Odyssey which never really made any sense, that you just didn't get full damage once you got to a certain level. So you could jump off like the highest mountain and you hit the floor and you was fine. They did take that away, which took some getting used to, because I was like, I can just jump off of that, I won't hurt myself. And I just kept dying. So taking that away, but I think that's a good thing. The mechanic with the clothes, where you could just wear what you want and then you could just change the skin of the clothes, never really made any sense to me. They've taken that away. Whereas now, so when you upgrade, so there's 2 ways of upgrading. You can either upgrade like the actual stats of it, so the stats go up, or you can upgrade the looks and you can get more stats. You can upgrade further with the stats.
Sure.
That makes sense. But so every time you upgrade it, you upgrade the actual armor, it's something to look forward to, because you're going to get a new look, and it's like a bigger thing. It's really odd. They've kind of taken steps back, but in taking steps back, it's more enjoyable. It's not like every single chest you open, oh, it's a new weapon, oh, it's a new bit of armor. you're really excited when you get those new things because they just seem to be so hard to come by. So when you get them, it's exciting, and when you upgrade them, it's exciting because they change as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a lot more RPG, isn't it? With how like your health regens, you got to like get berries, you got to like eat food and stuff. Which is quite interesting. And then how you get like different abilities as well with like the books of knowledge, and they're like in random like tombs and stuff, and you could just find them. It was kind of like, that was quite good to discover because I didn't realize that. I thought it was just the skill tree, and I was going through the skill tree thinking, I swear I've seen in the video where they like throw the axes, and I was like, how do I unlock that? I really want to unlock that, and I couldn't see it. I was like looking for ages, and it's apparently on one of the books of knowledge. I still haven't found it, but no, it was just kind of like, okay, this is quite cool. We've actually can start doing the actually got abilities, and once you start unlocking the abilities and you're in England, the game definitely improves massively. I think I'm really enjoying it.
I'm also liking the fact that the assassins, it's got an actual assassin element to it this time. There's a couple there when you first, I don't want to put any spoilers in there, but when you start, there's a couple of assassins knocking around and they teach you a few things, and it's nice to see that because with Odyssey I didn't see any assassin like related stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't complete it because again I just couldn't be bothered with the grind. But I know people have completed it, and I said, "Oh, was there assassin bits in it?" And they was like, "Not really."
No, there's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, so at least with this one, there's actually an assassin element to it, and you can actually do some proper assassin's kills. I've climbed up on roofs and gone the sneaky way and actually assassinated someone, and then snuck back out like you used to on the old game. So yeah, really enjoying that. Really, it's one of those games that I actually want to pick up and play. Not one of those games where I'm like, I've got a spare minute, I might play this game. It's like, I'm actually looking forward to playing that.
Yeah. I think the reason why, going back to what you were talking about with Odyssey, and the reason why you could do that jump thing and not get, I think it's because you was actually technically a demigod. And I think the DLC like fleshes that out because you go to like Atlantis, and I think you're a part of that, and you're not technically just human and things like that, and that's why you're so overpowered. I don't know what you think of Valhalla, but I also feel like I'm already overpowered, and I don't think I'm nowhere near as far in the game as you are. But yeah, I accidentally, so it's not really a spoiler, but there's like a mission where you got to basically do this enemy camp, and you're supposed to like start the mission, and then you have a group of like allies with you. I walked through the enemy camp by mistake and just killed them all, and then started the mission, and then I was like, oh, but I just did that all by myself. And I did that yesterday, and I kind of half forgot the buttons, and I was like just rolling around, axing people, picked up a few berries, healed myself, and I was like, this is very easy. Very easy.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games. If you play it like I like to play it, where I go around getting all the stuff and upgrading my character and that, the region where you're actually playing becomes super easy. But there's been a fair few times now when I've been playing it, and you'll come up against a boss type thing, and you're completely unprepared, and you're like, whoa, I'm really going to have to use some tactics now. I'm going to have to dodge, I'm going to have to counter and stuff like that. But some of them it does get really challenging, especially, I think I've seen a lot of reviews, people saying this, that don't take too much notice to the region, like the power level, because normally, if you was a level 60, you could easily go into 130 level.
Sure.
It's only if that red skull there is, because then they're I think the game is actually designed that they are actually too hard for you. Sure. It's like once you hit a certain point, you can do a lot more damage. But if that skull's there, they're just going to. It's kind of a way of keeping everyone penned in where they should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If you play it like I do, you do become a bit overpowered, but it does even out where I am now.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to play a little bit more, like I said, because it's like January now, and I've got a little bit of a backlog, and that is one of the games I wanted to pick up, and I did pick it up yesterday, and that was the game I mentioned earlier where they actually added DualSense support for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, so really?
the arrow and stuff.
I need that hashtag.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's a little bit subtle, so it's only when you do like a heavy attack you can feel like a rumble. When you do assassination, you can feel a rumble, and with the bow and arrow you can feel like the tension on the triggers, which is quite nice. Other than that, it's basically the same, and it looks really good. The upgrade on PS5, I bet.
When I'm playing it, I've looked around and thought, this does look really nice. It looks fine. It looks like a last gen game, but I'm playing it on a last gen console, so it makes sense. But
at least you can play that last gen game on your last.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like we won't go into it, but with Cyberpunk and that, everything's all very, very downgraded. This looks like it's performing like it should do.
Yeah.
Everything looks really nice, but I know on a higher definition console or gaming PC, it would just be mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Ubisoft did really well with their releases, like the next gen upgrades and stuff with this, and also Watch Dogs and stuff. I haven't heard anybody say they got real performance issues, and they obviously added ray tracing into Watch Dogs. Unfortunately, I wasn't that interested in Watch Dogs, but that would have been the reason why I would have wanted to give it a go. Just go around like a futuristic London with ray tracing and stuff. It would have been quite cool. It's just a shame it's Watch Dogs, not any other franchise. Because
I've played it. It's all right. It's not. It's all right. That's what I will say about it. It's one of those games where you can pick up and you can play it. Kind of all gets a bit samey after a while.
Yeah, that's the problem though, isn't it? When you release a game in like November, October, and it's just okay, there's going to be so many other games that are great, good, and it's just not going to sell. It needs to come out maybe like February. Well, March has become a really busy time as well, but it needs to come out maybe in the summer when there's not so many competitive games, because October and November is like the worst time to release it if it's just mediocre. So
I think I was playing that and I was really enjoying. Sorry, Brad. I think I was playing that. I was really enjoying it, and then I bought Resident Evil 3, and I kind of just never picked it up again after that.
Any other game, Brad?
I was just going to say, that's one of the games I started to play, Valhalla, but I haven't put enough time in it to, form an opinion. So hopefully at some point I will get back to it. And I did download Odyssey last year, and I haven't played that yet. So it's
that's a hard one to go back to, because obviously you've started Valhalla, so I presume you're going to continue to play that first. It would be so hard to go back once you, because like Ash and I said, it's kind of, they've improved like every little niggly thing you have about Odyssey, they've improved in Valhalla. So to have none of those issues and then to go and play a game after, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's a bit like I did try picking up Horizon again, because I wanted to play for that, and it's so weird, like the controls, and it's so difficult. Like just like in comparison to like how easy Valhalla is compared to that, it was kind of like I was like trying to learn the controls again, and then I just got like these three kind of beasts, and I was rolling around, I was trying to, and they just destroyed me. Like honestly, destroyed me. I was like, wow, this game is really difficult. Another thing that really seemed weird is that you can't climb. I was at rocks and I tried jumping. I was like, this is so like open world games, you can't climb on rocks. It was very, very odd, because I can't tell you the last time I played an open world game where you can't climb, and it felt very, very strange. When you go back to older games where they kind of haven't got that quality of life or whatever it is, improvements, it's very noticeable. Very noticeable. So lots of stuff. Brad M?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just very quickly on that. You say about going backwards in games. Do you know what's crazy? Sorry to go on about Destiny so much, but in Destiny 1, you can't. You can't mantle on Destiny 1. So whenever, like, I don't really go back now, but there was a stage when it was quite a Destiny 2, so I'd go back on Destiny 1 and trying to jump onto a ledge, and you don't do that mantle where you sort of grip it and then climb up. That is a game changer. Yeah, you can't do that in Destiny 1. And that's a phenomenal quality of life thing they put in Destiny 2, that going back, it's like, how can anyone play this game anymore? Sorry, anyway.
No, I never knew that, but that's quite interesting, because I probably wouldn't be able to do the raid, because there's like the jumping bit. No, when you're in space, and some of them platforms you need to jump up on. There's some with like a hunter where you do like the triple jump, and I sometimes just don't quite make it. But that thing, like that animation, saves me, and I just it just like pulls me up. I just didn't quite make the jump, but it's a lifesaver.
You don't realize how much you rely on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another game from me, yeah.
Actually, I just realised your next game is the same as my second game. So let's do Brad S. Do you want to do your next game?
I'm gonna say something now, and you're gonna give me shit, and you're gonna take a piss at me.
Is it Bugsnax?
Should we just end the podcast here? I feel like we've done well. Like it's been such a nice, entertaining podcast.
I'll just leave. So a game of platinumed. So
here we go.
It is Bugsnax. Yeah.
I thought that was a joke.
No. The thing is, like I definitely, I've got some honourable mentions, but I had to for our listeners.
Is this a troll? Like you're joking, mate?
Yeah, no,
this is a joke.
For our listeners, I had to.
This is a joke. Like out of all the games that came out last year, Bugsnax.
I remember we spoke when they done the release of all the games what was going to come out, and you was like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I won't be playing that.
It looked weird, and it was a bit weird playing it, but I had to pick games that I'd finished. I couldn't put Cyberpunk on here, or or even Assassin's Creed. So I haven't played them enough. So I've done Bugsnax. I completed it, platinumed it, and it's just a fun free game as well. It was free as long as if you had it to your library. December or November. It's a fun game, and it gets dark at the end. It does get a little bit dark towards if you try and see, maybe you can't save all the grumpuses. It's
shit.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Jesus! What twist?
Will Phil Bo get out? Who knows? I don't know.
All those that care.
I don't know. Yeah, I set up when I set up my monitor the other day. I was like, I'm going to play on PlayStation for a little while, and I was like, do I play Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed, Spider-Man? I was like, no, let's put Bugsnax on. So, for me, it was enjoyable, and I thought I'd include it in my
Maybe people with platinum, dear. I feel like you must be like you and one other person.
Yeah,
that,
to be
made
fair,
the game.
All the trophies are on the very rare category, so a lot of people haven't bothered. But I enjoyed it, and that's how I pick my games. By the time I've put into them. So yeah.
Do you want to snip that segment and put it in the April 1st episode, just so it makes a bit more sense?
Yeah, no, that's going to be our first clip. It's just why, Brad, why?
I don't know. It's just.
Now I'm curious. Now I feel like I have to play this game.
I think what it is.
Have you added it to your library, Ash, for when you get a PS5?
Nah, didn't bother.
No.
I'll buy it full price.
You buy it full price.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I think the thing for me is I like the having to catch them all kind of it's not Pokemon, but having to catch all the different Bugsnax kind of that element of gameplay kind of hooked me, because I was like, well, I want to do that, and then you have to do it in certain ways to lure them and get them and all that. And it got to one point where I only had one more to catch, and I had to just stand in game for over an hour and a half waiting for it to rain for this thing to appear. And then that's when I thought, I've got issues. That's when I was like, this is, to get this trophy, I'm willing to just sit and stare at my monitor just for until it started raining.
Sure.
But yeah, I think that's what it was. That part of the gameplay, that kind of it grabbed me, and I just enjoyed it. And I thought it's not a very long game, so yeah, it's for me it was just enjoyable. All the grumpuses, and
I get why you get the appeal. People that like Pokemon, like collecting things, like doing all those things. It kind of ticks those boxes, and if it's just easy pick up and not really have to think about it, it's kind of a bit like how I like the looter games. It's just an easy pick up, don't really have to think about it, and I like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's just... it's good. You're ribbing me about it, but this is we've got a diverse players here. I'll play the games that you will refuse to. So it's just
And I'll play the horror games.
You play the horror games, and you got Brad and Reece just Destiny. 24/7. That's
and
it.
You're playing Bugsnax. To be fair, I talk a lot of shit for somebody who absolutely loved Viva Pinata, and I was definitely in secondary school when I was playing that. And my garden was top tier, mate. I had everything. I had the little dinosaur one you had to hatch from an egg.
Yeah,
so, fair enough.
I think that's what it was. Is just like you say, Reece, is easy to pick up, and just if you just easy game to play, and like the catch, all the catching elements, and I just thought it was free as well. PlayStation Plus, I'll give it a go. Yeah. The thing is, we only started playing it. Well, I started playing it because we said we was going to review it, and then as soon as I started playing it, I was like, actually, I quite enjoy this. Because I can remember when we saw the launch, the games announcements, we was like, the fuck is this Bugsnax?
Everybody was talking about it because of the songs, weren't they? It was like
some sort of weird.
Everybody talking about Bugsnax,
yeah, Steve Irwin type thing. But yeah, Lisbeth that was. But it's it's good game.
Intrigued now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Now
see,
you're
done
taking
it.
you're
Fuck,
taking
he's
the
done
piss,
it
and
to
now
us.
you're all like,
Yeah.
what is Bugsnax? Yeah, you know.
Now I really do need a
Will
PlayStation 5.
all the Grumpuses survive the end?
These are the questions.
Yeah, these are the questions.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
But yeah, no, I really, thought it was a really good game.
I'm trying to remember. There is a game, and it was going to be coming out on PS5, but I can't remember what it was called. I think it was called Tim Tim. Remember when we said it was like a Pokemon?
Yeah, Tim Tam or something, wasn't it?
Is it Tim Tam? So yeah, something like that. I think it's Tim Tim. But yeah, that's basically like the Pokemon fans' dream. It's literally a Pokemon RPG, but it's not technically Pokemon. Yeah. And I believe it was coming to PS5 in December, but I haven't seen it on the store or anything because I wanted to download it.
Yeah, I think Tim Tam's actually an Australian biscuit, so it probably was Tim Tim.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But yeah, no, I wanted to give that a go because it just seemed like that RPG Pokemon that we've been promised and we thought was going to get, like what we thought Sword and Shield was going to be, but it wasn't quite. I'm not as big as a Pokemon fan as you guys, but yeah, I did want to play like an open world RPG type, I don't know, Japanese type thing, which I've been doing with Genshin Impact, which is a really good game. I don't know if anybody else has played it. It's like a free-to-play game. It's quite impressive how generous it is for a free-to-play game. It's a little bit grindy and stuff, and you've got the gotcha mechanics in it, which ruins it a little bit. But it's generally quite fun. It's in many ways, it's better than Zelda. In many ways, it looks better than Zelda. The gameplay's better than Zelda.
That's done.
Fair,
Lovely,
Zelda Breath of the Wild came out in 2017, so it's like
I'm sure it's inspired by it and it's copied a lot of things. But if you play it, you will see it's got so many elements of Zelda, but improved.
Yeah,
they've improved on it, and it's a free-to-play game. So I would, check it out if you haven't already. It's free as well. Yeah. Shall we go on to our next one, Brad M? Do you want to kick it off, or shall I? Do you want to kick it off?
I'd like you to kick it off, actually. I'm a little bit apprehensive on this one because of the present company.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, it is officially Game of the Year by every outlet or every person that has,
everyone
an opinion.
Paid.
Everybody got
paid for that opinion,
all the shills,
all the shills, Well, we're two of them in disguise, Yeah, we've got Neil Druckmann just here, but with my PlayStation T-shirt. But
Neil Fuckman. I went there. Yeah.
Jesus, look at the comments now. But the game we're going to be talking about is obviously Last of Us Part 2, which is a masterpiece of storytelling. It's unquestionably Naughty Dog at their best, I believe. It's they're so good. They're so good. And what they did with this game, I feel like is just a feat in gaming of like storytelling in terms of like I've never experienced this in any game where it's almost like a bit like the moment that we had with like TV shows like a few years ago where it's like Breaking Bad or The Sopranos, where you see the villain's perspective and it's like this grey line of like who is the good guy and who is the bad guy. And I've never seen that in like video games. And don't get me wrong, I like Spider-Man and I like it where you clearly got a hero and a villain. But to have a game where it turns it on its head, where we thought Joe and Ellie, I guess we're going into a little bit of spoilers. We've already done spoilers. But to think Joe and Ellie are the good guys, or these are the people that you have all the attachments to then flip it on the head that they're not necessarily the bad guys, but there is no good guys in this world. And it's in this zombie post-apocalyptic like world where everybody's trying to survive, and they build a story with Abby where it's all about revenge, and revenge will kind of cost you everything, which kind of ends up with Abby and Ellie just fucking up their lives, really. It's there's some really key moments where the game could easily end with Ellie on the farm, for example, where she's got the sunset, and it's almost like that Star Wars ending with the sun, and she's got the baby, and it's like, oh wow, she's actually getting a happy ending, but she can't let it go. And it's kind of like, at that point I was like, Ellie, no, like seriously, like it makes decisions where I kind of really disagree with them, but I'm not that person. And I don't know that when I said a couple of weeks ago where I was playing Cyberpunk as me and I was making those decisions as me, but with like these type of games. I'm not playing as me, and there's so many decisions where I kind of I disagree with Ellie, I disagree with Joel, I disagree with Abby, and I'm just along this ride of this really impelling story where it makes you do things you don't really want to do, like that fight where you fight against Ellie. It's kind of like, this is really horrible, but it's yeah, I feel like they went places that no other game has gone before, and it makes you, I don't know, emotions, whether or not you like the decisions it's made or not. I feel like that is good storytelling, and that's where it kind of comes down to, mixed in with really good gameplay. Like the gunplay is really fun. It's probably the best Naughty Dog I've ever done. Personally, I do like Uncharted, but I feel like the gunplay is a little bit stiff at times and a little bit not that great. I do feel like they did up it, and visually it's phenomenal. Even on the PS4, I haven't seen it on PS5, but it looks as good as any PS5 game, and I'll play that on a PS4 Pro. So yeah, no, it's an absolute masterpiece of storytelling, and it is one of my game of the year. Don't know if you agree, Brad. Brad M, got anything to add to that?
Not much. I think you've summed it up really well, and I share all the opinions. I just think, like, the alternative to have just some linear storyline that takes you to an end would just not be as interesting. I just think, where they completely flipped it on its head, and this whole new perspective, and it's like, we're in this world of Joel and Ellie, but there's consequences to their world, and what is the flip reversal of that? It just zooms out and takes you into this other world, and I only see that as great storytelling, and to live and breathe in that other world. It's controversial, but interesting, and I found it really enjoyable. It gripped me the whole way. I didn't know where it was going to go. So yeah, game of the year.
Guys, you got
Brad
S, Ash.
I'll let Brad go first, and then I'll go. And then I'll go.
I just hope they don't make any more, because it's shit. And like the game, the gameplay, I really like the gameplay, and the first half of the game I was really enjoying. I think when we done the podcast, I was saying this game's brilliant. You got to play it. I'm loving it. And then the next week after I played the Abbey section, it's like, come on, it's gone a bit downhill. But the gameplay, and some of the parts when you was playing as Abby, like the game, that was good. Like the bit in the hospital, that was really, with the
Rat King stuff.
King, it is good. But I don't know, it's the story. And I said a couple of weeks ago, I can step back and appreciate it being a good, a good game, and like people, go one game in a year and that. But for me, the storyline let it down, and it's not a game I'd go back to. Whereas I went back to number one multiple times. I just don't know. Just the story. This is what it done. It polarized people. Some people loved it, like you guys, and other people hated it, like me and Ash.
Do you think that's a bad thing though? Like, it did that?
Yeah. See, my mate talks about this as well, and it's like, for you to get that sort of reaction out of a game, it shows that it's good. And it's like, fair enough. But my opinion is, I didn't like the story. And I thought the farm bit, when you was at the farm with Ellie and the kidnap, it was fucking boring. I didn't care about them being in the farm and dancing. I don't know. Maybe I'm dead inside, but I just didn't care. And the whole, I don't know, it felt a bit too long. The whole bit when you went to California at the end just felt tacked on. They probably should have ended it at the farm. Ended at the farm, done. Don't tack the other bit on.
But that was the point of the game, is that obsession and revenge will cost you everything. And I feel like it was done intentionally. They made an ending. That was the ending. That should have been the ending. And I thought that was ending. I imagine everybody that played the game and got to that point was like, this is the end.
There was like space in the sky for the credits to appear.
Yeah,
you were
exactly.
Like, credits?
But
right?
I was hoping it was the end.
Yeah, so did I.
I was.
Yeah, and it was like, 100%. No, this is not the ending. Ellie doesn't get a happy ending. She has to do it. She has to go and get Abby, and it's not the choice I would have made, and it's not the choice. But I feel like that was the intention. It was to make you feel a bit like Walking Dead did with like. It's a bit like the whole, like, I don't know, I like when you just see characters that you like, or Game of Thrones even. Like when you see a character that you really like and they make you fall in love with this character and they just kill them. They just get their heads chopped off and it's like that shock factor. And no game has ever done that. And this game has hit that level of storytelling.
Yeah. This isn't a game about us. It's about Ellie. It's not well, is this right to say? It's not really role playing, is it? It's telling a story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's not our motivations; it's hers.
I've I've said my opinions on it in the past, but yeah, I respect you two opinion. I respect your opinion, but yeah, for me, it wasn't great. So
can I ask what it was that you didn't like about the story?
It's just the story. So they built these characters up in the first one, and everyone loved these characters like Joel, especially Joel, and then for them just to kill him right at the beginning of the game, he's done. That's it. And then to make Joel look like he's the bad guy, and Abby's the best. The best. She's the better person, and yeah, that's what it was. It was just the story. It's like character assassination of people. And I just didn't.
I don't feel like I hated Joel. I feel like Abby hated Joel. And
yeah, but I suppose some people like you have obviously played it, and you can, you're playing it as the characters. But I don't know. I played it. I don't know what I was trying to do. You play as Ellie, and then you play as Abby, and then you're supposed to see it from Abby's point of view. And by the end of it, you're supposed to be like, yeah, I can see why. And I can see why she's done it. Obviously, killed. Joel killed her dad and everyone she knew, whatever. But by the end of the game, I was like, no, it's not me, and and I'm not like me and Ash ain't the only ones. There's a lot of people that didn't like it. I think this is a very polarizing game. Everyone was looking forward to it for years, and then half of the people love it, and then like this podcast, half of the people love it, half of the people don't, and I'm on the side of don't. But like I said, I can see it as it is a good game. And I loved half of it, half of the game. He's playing as Ellie. I've really enjoyed it. But it's.
So why do you not like playing as Abby?
Because she's a fucking Hulk. She's just like, I don't know. She's just
because she killed Joel.
Yeah.
But then you kind of contradict your point because then at the end you said you didn't like the farm scene because you don't care.
Yeah, I just thought the farm scene was boring, to be honest.
It's just boring in terms of a gameplay perspective, rather than story.
Yeah,
okay,
it
sure.
It was a bit boring. I don't know. It's I don't know. It's messed up and it's all mixed up because there was certain parts of the game when you played Abby I did like. I
think our gameplay was a lot better than Abby.
The gameplay.
I mean Ellie. Sorry, I feel like she was a lot funner to play as.
And like I say, the Rat King bit I really liked. The whole suspense bit in the hospital.
Sure.
And that was good as well because you heard them go when you was playing as Ellie. You heard them say, "Don't go down a lower level as a hospital because it's like terrible." When you go in there as Ellie and there's nothing, but then when you go back there later on as Abby, then you see why it is so bad. But yeah, I don't know. It just didn't grab me as much as the first one. And I don't think I'd go back and play it again. So yeah, it's a shame because I was really looking forward to it, But hey, that's life. That's
Maybe I feel like you may have had not necessarily the wrong expectations, but what this world is. It's a black. I don't know if you ever watched. I know you did actually. I believe you did. You watched The Walking Dead, right? But did you ever go into the series thinking these characters are safe because I like these characters? If one of them just died and got killed, like they all did horrible things, like Rick and the gang. They weren't good people, but yet you were rooting for them. They were the characters you were following. And then when they did like what was that guy's name in like season 2 or 3? The governor, was it the governor?
Yeah, the governor. Yeah.
Like he was the bad guy, but then they did like a whole storyline where they saw like he had this like little girl and he was actually like a good guy, and you saw it from his perspective that he wasn't actually this evil Hitler or whatever. And
he did have a lot of heads in jars though. That was a bit weird. That was
it was I'm not saying perfect, you know what I mean? We all got something going on,
We've got a few jars and heads.
Yeah, exactly. We all got our doors closed right now. We don't know what's in the other room, but I don't know. I just feel like it adds. Like Brad said, it kind of draws it back from just Joel and Ellie and you see like the whole world's perspective of there's consequences to us going around killing other people, and these people also have families and loved ones and things like that. But cool. Ash?
Yeah, I agree. I really did enjoy the gameplay. Really enjoyed it. The mechanics of it, brilliant. Like the way you chuck rope over and stuff, and you can pull it through, and you have to, it's a little bit of puzzle solving and stuff like that. I did like the characters. I liked, Ellie, obviously. I didn't mind Abby, but if the story was, this is a story of Abby and this is a story of Ellie, and they were two different games, I would have probably enjoyed it. But it was the fact where you said about Abby is portrayed as the better one because she can learn to let go. I think, but the thing is with Ellie, she was pinned to the floor watching her only father figure get smashed in with his leg open, and then that's probably why she had a harder time letting it go. And she was an orphan, and then the only father figure she's ever got hold of then gets murdered in front of her. So I can understand why she's more after revenge more than anything. And the what I didn't like about the story is at the beginning, the uncle was like, don't do this. Joel wouldn't have wanted you to do this. He wouldn't want you to go after him. Just leave it. And she's like, I can't. I can't. He's like, look, just leave it. And then he goes off to go sort it out. And you're like, fair enough. He's gone to go sort it out. Then when all this happens, and then she's got a baby and she's settled down, she's on a farm, she's like, I'm happy now, I'm just going to leave it, I don't want to do it. Then he comes in and is like, look, we need to go find her. Do you see what she's done? And he's like, oh, well, hold on, where's this turnaround come from? This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. At the beginning of the game, he was like, Joel wouldn't have wanted you to do this. Now she's actually happy, got a family, got a happy life, and you're convincing her to go back out again. That's the bit of the story. Everything else I could understand. I could understand the good and the bad, and the way that no one's really that bad and no one's really that good. They're just trying to survive. I could understand all that, but that element there where the brother was trying to convince her after she had a happy life completely just killed the story for me.
Yeah. I think there's just consequences, isn't it, of your actions? And I feel like every character makes a decision, and it's almost, I guess, why you guys might not like it, but it's like every character makes the wrong decision. So like you said, like the brother going out to do it, I think that cost him his marriage. Like his wife didn't want him to go, and he comes back, he's injured, isn't he? Like didn't Abby injure him? And he's like got and he can't actually go himself now because he probably would have just gone himself to California, not told Ellie, but he can't go. He's probably lost his marriage now, and out of those consequences, made this an obsession. And obviously, Ellie also had it as an obsession, and so did Abby. And I don't think necessarily Abby let it go. Obviously, she didn't kill Ellie's girlfriend. I can't remember it. Is it Dina? Whatever her name was. Yeah. And it's because Liv, like the little the little boy says, "Don't do it," kind of thing, and she doesn't, but because she's pregnant or whatever. But yeah, it's just. Yeah, I feel like every character makes consequences and just loses. They lose everything, And Ellie going at the end and losing her fingers. So the last connection with Joel was the playing the guitar, and she can't do that anymore. It's not a nice story. It's sad, but it's I feel like it's still not a bad story that was told. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just it's just that element of it. It's like I say, the gameplay I enjoyed the first half of it. It was just the story, and I think that's the main thing when it comes to games to me. The story has to be there, no matter how good the elements are. I mean, many a time I thought, actually, I might give it another go because I've really enjoyed the gunplay of that. I've really enjoyed the way the enemies, like, if you was hiding behind a wall, obviously in real life, an enemy's going to find a way to get around that wall and shoot you, which they do. Really clever. And I think I might actually pick that up, and then I'll remember the story, and I'm like, oh, I can't bother to go back through it again because I just really, really didn't enjoy it. And like Brad said, with the Rat King, that was really good. I enjoyed that. Like I said, if they had made a game where it was like, this is Abby's game and this is Ellie's game, I'd enjoyed it. But a game where you've got all these fans who are so passionate about Joel, I don't mind that he got killed. I think that was quite a good move. It made, it's a good.
The motivations, yeah.
Exactly that. But you had this little girl you looked after and you made sure she was safe, and then you play as her, and then you're like, right, now you got to play as Abby, shoot her, kill her now, and you're like, well, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. And then they had that bit when where you're like trying to find her and Ellie's running around planting bombs and that, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like Home Alone.
Yeah, that was
like,
weird.
What's going on here? Like this is changed. This is like this game has always been believable. It's been like a gritty story, and now I'm up against fucking Kevin McAllister running around the house putting bombs down, trying to kill me. I'm like, what is going on here? And that again, that destroyed it for me. Because when I'm doing it to zombies, I'm like, yeah, fair enough. I'll put a tin down there, a load of bombs in it. When someone's doing it against me, and I'm running around little hallways, I'm like, this is a bit silly, isn't it? But yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, I can appreciate people did really enjoy it, and there's plenty of people out there who did enjoy it. But for me, it just wasn't. It wasn't it, and that's fair enough.
I feel like the enemy types were quite good in this game as well.
I really like the I can't remember what it was called. The ones that like the
whistle
creep around. That one. But then the infected that creep around, they were ranked up. They cranked up to 10.
Yeah,
level 10.
Stalkers.
They was fucking scary. Yeah.
But in the first one, you only really saw them in the hotel, and then on this one though, like as soon as you knew they was there, you was kind of like, oh shit, this is. Yeah, so I like. And
another enemy I really liked was the big, not the bloater, but like the big bastards.
Yeah,
on the first game, they was like, fucking, that's a bit of a bastard to kill. On this game, it was like, fucking hell, that is intense. That fucker's just thrown me through a wall.
Yeah.
And so I really, really enjoyed that. Really, like I say, the elements in the game will really pull me back to it. But at the end of the day, it's the story where I'm like, I just can't do it.
Yeah,
it's like rewatching Game of Thrones. I can't do that either because that just hurts my heart.
Yeah, no, I know you feel. Yeah, no, the enemy, the way they designed them as well, I feel like they just upped it to another level. Like even the clickers and stuff, and the way they clicked, especially if you played with like a headset on with surround sound, it just really added to the atmosphere of the game. Especially when you're in like the underground bit and it's quite dark and stuff. It's there's some really good scenes in the game. Even the nostalgia scenes where they do like the cutback scenes, and like with Eddie's birthday, and they go to the museum. Like that scene is so heartwarming. It's unbelievable. It's a real like father and daughter scene where they're in the little she's wearing like the space helmet or whatever. There's so many good moments in the game.
One of the that's one of my favorite bits of the game was when you was playing as Ellie and you was in that like subway, and they're like hunting you. The fireflies, like whatever they call it, hunting you. And there's it's really dark and it's only lit up by flares, and there's clickers in there, and then you can just like make a noise, and then the clickers just clear all the humans out. Like you can just use them as a distraction, and you just hide while they just like kill everyone. That was that was pretty good. But game. As I say, the gameplay, good. But,
Cool.
And the other thing, like her father was gonna cut a little girl open and kill her. So no wonder the daughter of the father would have protected the daughter. So Ellie really, when she got older, should have clocked. I know she's like driven. She's just got one view, and she's going to kill this guy. But you think if she was a progressed character like she's played to be, she would have got older and thought, my dad probably would have done the same to me, done the same to that guy if he was about to cut me open and kill me.
Yeah.
I think there's just little plot holes and stuff in it,
Yeah.
But he did save a zebra, so that was.
He did save a zebra, so that's quite nice. Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, I feel like it's a agree to disagree moment, and we'll just move on to thankfully something that we all agree on.
We'll never move on.
We'll never move on from it.
Never let go. No.
Yeah, we're going to do a whole episode about a debate episode about. Yeah, but we've gone quite deep into it now, so we'll still do that episode where we can go into a little bit more depth of why we're correct and you guys are wrong, why the CDs are incorrect. But
we can do Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, as well. We've got to do that as well at one point because there's some absolute gaping holes and issues with that game. Absolutely,
there's not.
Talking about boring, like who wants to brush their horse? Do you know what I mean? It's like a sin, like it's absolutely boring.
Thinking about maybe I will leave this podcast.
Like absolutely go into a town, accidentally get out your gun, and everybody's damn.
That would happen in real life though. Don't go into a town and get your gun out. That's what happens. I've tried it.
That's a cowboy.
Not allowed in a lot of places.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They still had law and order.
Oh, damn.
Anyway, the next one.
Yeah, it's
the next one.
heated. We need to move on. Let's just all play Bugsnax.
Yeah.
No, we don't agree on that either, mate. So I think you like it, we all think it's just a naff. But Ghost of Tsushima is all on our list, and that means it is the Part-Time Players Game of the Year for 2020. So congratulations, Sucker Punch. I'm sure they've been waiting for this award. So yeah, we'll send something in the post, I suppose. Brad will, I don't know, send one of these, I don't know, something behind him. But
and that clone trooper drop shit.
Yeah, no. Who wants to kick it off with their thoughts on Brad S? Do you wanna kick it off?
Yeah. So I was we excited to play this when it was coming up to getting released, and yeah, it's just really enjoyable game. I think we've said in our review before how the visual style of it and how how good it looks, and just even the story, just playing that, seeing the the samurai culture, it's just cool, and it just makes you feel like a I don't know, kind of like a superhero samurai if you want. It's just it just kind of ticks all the boxes I like, and going out clearing all the outposts.
Yep.
Leveling up, and varying the gameplay for me. It was like a bit stealth and a bit more, when you can challenge the people to come out and then just timing it right and then just killing them with one hit. I don't know. It just the story, it grabbed me. I wanted to see what happened at the end. I know some of us at the end chose a different made a different decision, but it's just a fun game, good story. Really enjoyed it, and I think it was the game I've played this year. It was the best one, so that's why
Cool.
It's my top one. So
I'm drinking that. Ash, do you want to say your thoughts?
Yeah. I again really looking forward to it. It's one of those ones what I heard about and I was like, I'm going to go for that. I even thought about getting the collector's edition, which I regret not doing now. But yeah, and I'm not an achievement whore like you guys are, and I even platinum that. So that's how much I was enjoying it. I completed the game. I had like 4 little side quests to do, and I thought I might as well do them. Done them. Really enjoyed the story. Thought the story was really good. The customization you could do to your character. Again, I love. That's why I could never Twitch, because I'd just constantly be changing clothes for whatever mission I was going on. I'm big into that. It's really good. I do wonder though, a bit controversial since it's all our game of the year. I do wonder if it come out at a different time, it'd be so big. If it had been such a popular game, because it did come out when we was all at home, couldn't really do too much, and there was no other games around it. But saying that, it was a solid game. Every enemy you killed, you feel like you would actually achieve something again. It was one of those games where if you didn't really get too many specials, but if you was as good at the end of the game as you was at the beginning, it would have been super easy. And by that I mean playing more of it, you actually just got better with using the character. So at the end of it, you was killing loads of people, and you was like, I've not learned anything really new. I've just got better using this guy. And I think that's I really enjoy that in games where if I went to go play that now, I probably would struggle because I've forgotten all the controls and that. But it's just the fact that I got really good at it.
Yep.
I agree. I like the bits where you find like the other samurai, and when you as soon as you challenge someone, it goes into like the cinematic mode.
Yeah.
And like Ash said, beating them, you do get like a sense of accomplishment, because some of them were quite a bit tough.
Yeah.
But like parrying and countering like at just the right time. It really was just you gotta, when you beat them, you kind of like I did deserve that. So I get that was a really good element of it.
Cool. Brad M, I know you've only just started it. You're the only one that hasn't got the plat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll definitely go for the platinum then if it's achievable. That's the deal. Yeah, I'm a few hours in. I was a bit late to the party. Everyone's got their things that they're into. Cowboys or aliens, Star Wars, and I don't know. Samurais is not something that's ever really drawn my attention, but like Brad said, actually, learning about samurais has been really interesting. I know nothing about samurais. I've never been into them, never studied it. I just know nothing about them. But they sort of teach you about the samurai way all the way through, and it's really interesting. But I just know I'm going to love this game. You know when you just pick up a game and in the first 2 hours you're like, oh fuck, this is going to be awesome. So I'm in that stage at the moment. Destiny keeps pulling me back in, get mates in my ear. Come and do this to me. Come and do this to me.
Give it a break.
Clearly. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing it. I just love how it feels. It just feels good. It looks good, and those are two huge elements to.
I was a little bit disappointed, like Tom Cruise wasn't in it. Any The Last Samurai. I was expecting him to.
So. Yeah, he got trained for a couple of months and was just as good as people who'd done it all their lives.
Yeah,
so
it was genius.
Amazing that. Americans really are really good, isn't they?
Maybe Ghost 2, and Tom Cruise turns up as the Last Samurai. That'll be a pot to it. No, I'm joking. But I agree with everything that everybody said. It's it's really good to learn about the samurai a little bit more. I've always found it a little bit interesting. I've probably found like things like that. And I think I said it a few weeks ago where Sony are really good, and that's kind of how I compare like Horizon is like a better Far Cry. Like I feel like this is just a better Assassin's Creed. And it's got all the same elements, like an open world. It's kind of like a soft RPG. You can upgrade your character. You can collect things. You can do all those things that you like doing in an open world. But the combat style is just, I don't know, just the gameplay is just on another level. And a bit like what Ash said, where you feel like you've improved as the game goes on. But I feel like that's the part of the gameplay, like from him being like this samurai where he's like, with honor and he's quite stiff and stuff like that, and he slowly turns into like the ghost and turns into like Brad S said, like a superhero like Batman. And next thing you know, you're taking down like 6 people, like, and you got your throwing stars and you're doing this and that. And I thought with no honor, which is quite a cool thing, because if you're fighting with no honor, it's always like still me.
Yeah, that's a really cool element. I found out about that after the game. I was wondering why it was always really like pissing down the rain all the time.
Yeah, which is quite cool. It's quite cool that Sucker Punch did that, because they did that with Infamous. No, when you could choose like light or dark, and it changed how like things interacted within the story. So that's quite cool. But yeah, no, I love the game. I think it's beautiful, like the stunning, like the island of Tsushima. I actually Googled it. I went on like Google Maps, and I was very disappointed to see that it's
white trees everywhere.
Yeah, it's just like
yellow fields.
Yeah, obviously it's modern day. It was in 2020, but yeah, it's like just I don't know, just a little bit of a jungle and stuff. There's no like flowers, none of the things. It's no color to it at all. It's just green and concrete. So yeah, I was a little bit disappointed because it's absolutely stunning. So can't wait for the second one. Be interesting to see where they go, because if they do stick to history, I guess they don't have to, but there is a second invasion. The Mongols do invade again, so I'm sure they'll do that. And they do go to there's another island, a slightly bigger island, and then there is the mainland. So I am hoping they do go to the mainland of Japan in the second one, and it opens up a little bit more of a city. Yeah, because I feel like that was the one thing that's missing. Was when you were the ghost and you could swing and stuff. I would like to be able to swing and go up the towers, the lighthouses. I wish you could grapple up. I know he's not Batman, but it'd be quite cool if you could just go ping and just go up and go down again. I found it a little bit annoying that you had to use the ladders to go up and down. Sometimes a little bit slowed it down a little bit. I would like to have, I don't know, been a little bit more superhero-y, but yeah, no, fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic.
Going back to that point where it's really stormy when you're doing the ghost moves, that's a clear indication that you're doing something that the gods are not happy with, because it's constantly raining. So maybe he's done the wrong thing. Maybe he should have been the samurai. Maybe his uncle had it right all along.
Maybe.
But it was easier sometimes to just.
It was easier just lobbing those shurikens at everyone.
You know, Frank Kunai's at everyone and then just stabbing in the back is easier. So yes,
it was.
Yeah, and stealth attacks as well are really good. Has anybody played the add-on Legends at all? Am I the only one?
No.
See, that in itself is such a good game. It could literally be a standalone game, and that is the reason why this game has topped Last of Us for me, was that add-on. because
and it was free as well. Like for them to just release it as like an update, it's just
it's easily could have been a chargeable standalone game. It is so good, and there's so much content in there, and it's like we all said, we all like the combat. It's really good, and then when you put it in like a team of 4, and you make it a little bit more superhero, really, it's a little bit more mystical with like the abilities that either you have like a samurai, you have they don't call it assassin, you have a bow and arrow guy. I can't remember what they're called now. But you basically, is it hunter. They said the bow and arrow guy is called a hunter, and then you have a Ronin, and they all have different abilities. So like the Ronin can heal, and it has healing abilities. And it's a really fun game. I never did the raid because they did release a raid as well, but I did all like the story missions. You could do them like on 3 different levels, and you like leveled up, and there was like a survival, like you did like waves of enemies.
Yeah.
And also there was different like tiers of difficulties with that. Once you got better loot and stuff with different perks, and each store like Catan you got had like a different like mod to it. So you had like different stances. So like a bit like Jin had all 4 stances. You couldn't do all the stances unless you got like a special sword that maybe had 2 or 3. Okay. It was like I got one like a legendary sword that had all 4, which was apparently rare in the game. So no, it was it was a really good game, really good looter game.
Another bit I liked about the main game was the stances, because at the end you did just automatically switch up. You didn't really think about it. You just switched up to the stance you needed, which I thought was it was a good add-on. So that was I enjoyed that as well.
Yeah. Whatever the one, I think it might have been the water stance that you did for shields, where it kind of went up and down really quick, and you like did the triangle thing. Yeah, that was like my favorite move in the game. I just did that over and over again to so many enemies because it was so quick, especially when you like upgraded it and you made it like a bit more faster and more powerful. But that's great.
No, brilliant game.
Cool. Anything else got anything to say about Ghosts at all? Or what would you want for like number 2? What direction do you want it to go in? Has anybody got any thoughts on that? Or
like you say, like maybe some more urban areas would be pretty cool. More urban settings. Can't really. There's the weapons and that you use are all really good. Just like a different setting for me would be good.
No, I think I totally agree with you, by the way, with those points. Going back to what Brad Emmett said at the beginning, where he said is the platinum obtainable, it is a little bit grindy. It's a lot more grinding than Spider-Man. There's so many little fox dens you got to do and do all those question marks. I didn't realize you'd have to do every single one. So unless you want the platinum, I would start doing them right at the beginning, because it is it took me about 4 attempts of a long playthroughs to get all them done on each part of the island as well, because there's like 3 different sections, and it's it's a little bit too much. I felt like there was too many.
I done it like methodically, like the first bit, done everything on it first time. The second bit, I done everything on it. So then like the third bit, I just had to, I just done it.
Well, I'm pretty sure they gave you things, and they made your character stronger by doing them. It wasn't just like collecting feathers. So that's why I done them, because I wanted to be as strong as I could for the end game. So I think that adds another element. So when a game like I was saying then, like Assassin's Creed, when it's like collecting feathers, it's like it's so fucking boring. I'm just doing this because I want the achievement at the end of it. I actually want, if it made my character stronger as I'm collecting each one, at least that's doing something for me.
Cool. No, absolutely. No, definitely. It's another reason why I think that this game is just an improvement on Assassin's Creed. Like, I feel like Sony are just really good at just taking their own first-party games and just improving on successful other franchises. Do you know what I mean? It's like, they probably just look at a game. It's like, okay, this is successful, but what are the niggly points that everybody has about that game, and how can we improve it? And they just put it off, and I think that's why they kind of got the edge over Xbox. And they probably will do in this generation as well, just because their franchise is so strong. So cool. You plan to play any more, Brad M? I take it you do, or
absolutely, yeah.
How far in the game are you?
Probably a couple of hours. I've got my bow sorted. I've just gone and freed up a bridge. I've done like 2 question marks, 2 main missions. So about 2 hours into it.
Cool.
But yeah, no, it's a good start. So yeah, I'm going to fire it up this afternoon, I think.
Cool. Nice. Cool. Well, I guess that's all good to say. Has anybody got any honourable mentions for last year or anything that didn't make their list? What they thought, it was a good game. I've got a few. Like, I know it's not very popular. And I actually got into a little not debate with someone about it last night on Twitter, but about Avengers. And it's on my honourable mentions because the game's got so many problems, but it's got so much potential, and it's such a shame. And I got in this little discussion with someone on Twitter because there was an article that, a journalist basically released this article saying it needs to go free to play, and that's how you're going to save the game. And I kind of just said, my comment was on it was that I just disagree with that. The game needs content. Like, the game is just bare. There's nothing to do. Once you get to end game, there's nothing to do. And making it free to play is not going to solve that until they add content and loot and stuff worth doing. Making it free to play and adding players, people are just going to jump back out as soon as they've done the main story. So I kind of said that's not really the answer, but that's on my honorable mentions just because I'm hoping that it's going to do what Destiny did with Forsaken, where it just has this really big expansion. And once it adds all these characters, the game's really fun to play. So yeah, that's on there. Cyberpunk is on my honorable mentions. We know all the issues it has with the game. I have actually pretty much beat it. I'm on the last story mission because I went to start and it said you can't go back from this point, and I googled it and you can't. So I've got all the side missions and I've decided just to drop it down and wait for the patches and wait for the upgrades because I don't want to beat it. And then I know there's going to be DLC, but it's a good game. We'll go into do a spoiler cast or spoiler review discussion, whatever, once we've all played it, maybe some point in, I don't know, March or whatever, when obviously Ash can play it or when he gets a PS5, whatever. Final Fantasy Remake was also a really good game. It's the first time I've ever played a Final Fantasy game. It's obviously a really, really big franchise, and I've always been quite intrigued of playing one because it's so popular and obviously people love it. And obviously everybody had that nostalgia for Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I was like, let's just give it a go. Let's see what all the fuss is about. And honestly, it made me a fan of Final Fantasy now. I can't wait for part 2. It's just the gameplay.
In 5 years' time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm interested in playing the new one, which will come this year. I think it's 16. Is it 16? Yeah, it's 16, isn't it? Yeah, I'm interested in playing that now. And yeah, no, it's generally a really, really good game. And I can't imagine how people feel that actually got the nostalgia for it as well, because you could tell when it's such a fanfare kind of game where there's added these little moments. It's kind of like, I kind of get what you're trying to do here, but it doesn't pull it off for me because I've never played the original. But I'm sure that how you will feel, Brad, when they obviously do the Metal Gear remake eventually. Just that nostalgia, do you know what I mean? It's just like, my God, wow, you've actually made this classic, and it's absolutely just in love with it. So
looking forward to that. Definitely. Yeah.
Well, not been announced, guys, but
well, I'm looking forward to it anyway. I'm living, I'm an eternal optimist, as we all know on this podcast.
Exactly. So, well, we made the Mass Effect thing go. We talked about it enough. We spoke about it for 7 weeks in a row, and eventually it's now is real. Coming, so is it April or whenever it's coming? So my last one is Fall Guys. Very short lived, but for the couple of weeks I was playing with Brad M, it's not the fun as online gameplay I've played. It was actually, I think I played with you as well, Brad, didn't I? So, it's a really, really fun game. And when it was on PS Plus and everybody was playing it, it was such a silly little fun game to just pick up and play for a couple of weeks. So,
I think I heard you rolling on the floor laughing at one point, doing just.
I don't think I've ever laughed so much in a game, honestly. And I had this little thing where I was trying. Every chicken, I had a thing against chickens because chickens kept killing me. So every time I saw a chicken, I tried killing them, and it was just this little thing where I tried pushing them off, and this guy they tried to push me off, and because you grab onto people, and then I'll just kill myself in the end. So
such good fun.
It was really fun. It was really.
I never got a crown.
I got one. I only got one. So yeah.
I remember.
That's a very hard game to platinum. You know, you got to get five crowns in a row in. You were saying
in a row.
It's
mental.
it's ridiculous. So,
I think it's more than 5. It might be like 7 or something. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like impossible.
Yeah, I know that there was a big complaint about that. Well, not a complaint, but loads of people were saying there's no way you're going to platinum this because it's just too hard.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Luck. It's all luck in it.
2 in a row. It should have been 2 in a row. Get 2 in a row. Difficult, but not impossible.
Yeah, that's very difficult. But yeah, I totally agree. Anybody else got any honourable mentions at all?
Mine I already mentioned, but I will mention it again. The Witcher. So obviously I know it came out in 2015, it's Witcher 3, but I played it. Played it a little
slightly
bit.
old, slightly not quite 2020, but 5 years.
I did play it a few years ago on the PS4, but then I got it on the Switch, and then hundreds of hours sunk into it, and I beat it, and it's just a brilliant game. Really, really good story, and my love of The Witcher. I think it's because that's when like the TV series come out, like the end of 2019, and then after I want more of this, so that's when I downloaded it onto the Switch. So
sure, yeah,
and obviously it doesn't look as good, but when I was playing in handheld, you couldn't really, there wasn't like a massive frame rate drops and it just looked good. So,
sure.
Yeah, for me it was The Witcher.
I know they said it was going to be shorter, like Cyberpunk was going to be shorter than The Witcher, but I was so shocked when I was about to start that final mission and it said like there's no going back, and then I looked it up and that was the final mission. I was like, oh wow, I don't feel like I've played this like a lot. And then I was on the final mission. I was like, oh wow, this is
because you kept saying like, oh, probably won't end up finishing it, I won't beat it because you thought it was so big, and then
no, honestly, I've done quite a few side missions because, like I said, I went into romance, whatever her name is, Pamam, whatever, which I succeeded doing.
Nice.
Great scene in a tank. Great scene in a tank. And other than her side missions, because every time she texted me or called me, I did it straight away.
No bitch
like,
boy.
Yeah. I'll come help you. And she annoyingly was all the way out. Like she's a nomad, so you had to drive and leave the city. So you had to do like a long drive. But it's a good game. It's a good game. But,
what I've played of Cyberpunk, I definitely enjoy The Witcher 3 more. Like the Cyberpunk, I play it and it sometimes feels like a little bit of a chore. I don't know. Yeah, like. I don't know, the way I don't really like the way you get all your side missions and like your gigs and that you go into a different place and you just got some random person phone you up like, oh hi, I'm Vicar, I don't know, whatever, and then they keep phoning, texting you and that, and it's just like, all right, calm down. I've got so many missions, like so many side quests that listed now. You need to rein it back a bit. But
that beginning bit is very odd when you got call after call and you're doing like a main mission and then people just keep calling you and saying, oh, you're V, come see me sometime to do this or do. I'm just like,
calm down.
Yeah,
I was trying to work out. I was trying to work out how to turn my phone off. Just turn this fucking thing off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find an outfit.
Yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto 4 when your cousin keeps phoning you to go bowling. It's like, let's go on. Come on. It's just, but I will play it more, but
absolutely, I'll hold him back on my thoughts on it just because when we do our little discussion on it, but I've got so many thoughts on the actual game itself since I've almost beat it. But Ash or Brad M, you got any honourable mentions at all?
No, I haven't, to be honest. Like I said, I mentioned Watch Dogs, but it's not. I probably wouldn't recommend it to people.
No. Did you play any other games like last year or not at all? Or I
played loads of games, but none of them come out last year. It was all ones.
Cool. Brad M?
Yeah, Fall Guys stands out. It was during lockdown that came out. It was a really fun game, good laughs for a good few weeks. The Nether update in Minecraft was good. That came out this year. That was a big update. Added 4 new biomes in the Nether, which was a huge update to that world. And Minecraft is one of those games when I get into Minecraft, Jesus, my life just goes upside down. This 16-hour shift on that game. So that was good fun. Other than that, I've played Battlefront 2 quite a bit. That didn't come out this year. They did it last year. Sorry.
No.
So no, nothing else from me.
Brad S plays
to
like
be fair,
7-year-old games.
To be fair, I played like a 5-year-old game. So
fair.
Everyone.
Golden Eye on the 64. That's
I started playing Dead Space again, so that's nine. That's how many is that? That came out in 2009. So
so that's like 11 years old. So
I've played a lot of FIFA, but I feel like I could never put that. You could never put that on an honourable mention. It's just a mention. Nah. It's not honourable. Nothing honourable about FIFA.
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any plans? What we play next, or games that are coming out fairly soon? So, any games coming out in January? Hitman 3, I believe, is coming out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm getting that at the end of the month. I'll get that day one.
Okay, cool.
That's the only one I think, like majorly. I think that's the only like big one that we'd notice on on our radar.
If someone tells me that Xbox, the first Xbox exclusive, is it Medium? Is that coming out this month? Remember, we got delayed because it was supposed to come out in December. It was supposed to come out launch. They got coming out in December, and then I think they then pushed it to like late January as well. So I feel like it's the first Xbox exclusive game.
I still find that so mad. It's crazy that they bought a console out without any games.
Yep. Well, Halo was the plan, so people got fired over it,
and everyone went fucking mental when that got released. When that footage got released.
Yeah. Oh, what, the Craig monster. Craig.
Exactly, Craig the brute. Yeah.
So unfortunate for them. Such a shame.
I did mention actually that the PlayStation Plus games this month seem quite good. So for January, so you got Greedfall for the PS4 and the latest Tomb Raider. Was it? Legend of the Tomb Raider.
It's a good game.
And for PS5, you've got Maneater. So I'm going to download that and give that a go because that's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, I heard that Sony had to give people refunds for Maneater because it's on PS Plus. Because I think loads of people bought it. Yeah, and then they made it free, so they had to give them refunds again. So but, refunds for Sony recently.
Yeah.
Why did they have to give refunds? Isn't that just tough shit?
I suppose.
Yeah, I feel like if enough people moan, it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Was it in the sale? Why did people? Because it's not a new game, is it? It's been out for a while.
I think they put it in the sale. Yeah, so people bought it in the sale, and then I was like, "Oh, it's free now." You know what I mean? So it's like,
classic.
Yeah.
Classic PlayStation.
So I'll add all three of them to my library and probably just play one. So
for 5 minutes.
It's just the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Tomb Raider a go because I did want to play that game and I haven't played it because I think Rise was on Plus a few months ago, and I did thought that was. I think we did say and we did think that was the new one, and I was like, oh, I'm going to give that a go, and then we kind of worked out that it's not. And I've already played Rise, but I don't know why I never played Legends, but or Legend of. But yeah, no, I'll give it a go at some point. It's a little bit quiet at the moment. Like I said, I've been playing Assassin's Creed. Continue playing that. Obviously, we've got Destiny. The season wraps up at the end of this month, so there's a new season starts in February. So keep going with that. And yeah, there's no new games. Obviously, I would have played Prince of Persia Remake, but they pushed that back to is it February or March? So yeah, no new games for me this month.
No, I think Far Cry 6 is it? That's that next month, I think, isn't it?
No, it got delayed.
Oh, it got delayed again, didn't it? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's been pushed.
Yeah, it's not coming out before April, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I think what's that other Ubisoft game? No, the one's on motorbike. Something Republic.
Oh yeah, Riders Republic or something.
That's it.
Yeah.
Another game that you said was very stupid and shaking your head now, and you're probably going to love it, mate. You're going to platinum it. Absolutely. This is the Brad's way. Honestly, whenever he slates a game, you can review it next month and you can tell us all about it.
Okay. Yep. But if I have to pay for it, then that's no.
Oh, okay.
He's a tight platinum guy.
He said the same about Bugsnax. If I have to pay for it, I'm not going to do it. And then they made it PS Plus.
And then they plays. So I was like, it's my civic duty to play this, and I played it and loved it.
Okay. Well, when Riders Republic obviously eventually fails because no one buys it or plays it, and they put it on PS Plus, you can download it and review it.
Okay, I will do. I'll do that. I'll take that responsibility on.
Cool. All right. Anyway, I guess this is a wrap for this week. We ain't got no TV show because I think our next TV show we'll do, like a Disney Plus show, would be what's it called? WandaVision. That's it. I was thinking of Wanda, sorry, and then I couldn't think of the next part. Willy Wonka, I was thinking, but yeah, that starts on the 15th, I believe. So yeah, we've got a couple of weeks, and I believe Brad S looked scoured the internet but couldn't find any games released.
I did. I could. There was literally not even like, I know I've done some obscure games for this day in gaming before, but like these games I've never heard of, and I just don't think anyone would care. So I took the executive.
But does anybody care? Like your other ones, mate. Like,
everyone loves it. When I spoke about Bayou Billy, everyone was like, "My God, this is it."
I still can't believe you go out with that as well. It's unbelievable.
I remember that game.
Actually, exactly. We used to play it
mainly because we played it together.
Did you do McDonald's Kids ones? Like what?
That's
like,
a good one.
McDonald's Kids, McDonald's
that
Kids,
hits home. Like there's lots of people who know that one.
Yeah, I can see my McDonald's Kids NES cartridge from where I sat. It's a brilliant game.
Maybe I should edit this part and just do like best clips, best of 2020 of this day in gaming, and just go through your clips.
Dodge Mario.
Yep.
Brilliant. But I couldn't find anything, so hopefully it'll be better next week. The problem is, I think a lot of games get released in January, so it's but I'll find something. So it will come back. It will come back kicking in 2021.
Come back strong.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anybody watch anything at all over Christmas period? Anything good or anything related or not really?
No, not really.
No, I started watching Umbrella Corp, but I've only got through the first season of that. I've got to finish that off.
I've got to watch the second season of that as well. Yeah.
Anyone seen Parasites? That movie, the South Korean one that cleaned up at the Oscars.
No, yeah, I saw that on there a few times. I thought I might watch that. It does look really good.
It's brilliant.
That's the zombie one, isn't it?
No, that's Peninsula.
Oh well, I haven't. I've got completely wrong.
Yeah.
I like the look of the zombie one.
No, Parasites. It got Best Picture. It's subtitled. It's South Korean. But don't let that put you off. It's a really interesting story. Incredible film. Really gripping the whole way through. Very good.
Has it got zombies in it?
Kind of. Not really.
Well, that's all right then.
You only like things with zombies other than Last of Us.
I hate zombies. That's
the
weird
zombies?
thing. Yeah, I just like to avoid them.
All right, there we go. All right, cool. I guess this is a wrap. Our first episode in 2021.
Yeah. If you want to follow us or get in contact with us, you can do it via us various social medias. So Twitter is at PTPlayerspod. Facebook is the Part-Time Players Podcast, and our Gmail is ptplayerspod@gmail.com. Just send any questions or any, just want to get in touch, give us some feedback. Any of them will be great. On Instagram as well is at PTPlayerspod. So any of them, to get in touch. And if you do listen on Apple Podcasts, please leave a review and a 5-star rating. That'll help us get up the charts. And YouTube, please like and subscribe. YouTube, you're going to start being able to see our beautiful faces when you watch the podcast. So it's
exactly
a treat for everyone.
Jesus.
Who's not who don't want to see us in HD glory.
Exactly. So this is our first podcast doing video. So please subscribe on YouTube to actually make it worthwhile. I believe we get a lot of audio listeners. We don't get a lot of listeners or watchers, I guess, now on YouTube. So we'd like to grow that as well. So please subscribe. We really appreciate it. Hopefully we get a little animation. I have in the middle here where it's going to say subscribe, hopefully. It's really weird because we're all in little boxes, like Brad's there, Brad M's here, Ash is there, I think. So cool.
That is brilliant. And remember, new episodes every Monday. So subscribe and don't miss an episode.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Right. Cheers. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.